What is up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I am bringing you an anime review of Mob Psycho 100, Episode 1, the debut, and I can tell you that this series is going to be hype and it's going to be hilarious. If you're looking for something to fill your water bottle until One Punch Man comes back, look no further with this, because Mob Psycho is definitely a spiritual successor of that series. And as a matter of fact, it is done by the same creator of One Punch Man, which is One. And it has that same art style as well. So, first and foremost, before you try to recommend this series to a friend, just like with One Punch Man, let them know ahead of time that this is not going to be a serious series. This is going to be a comedic series with an action backdrop. And there's going to be times it's going to make you jump out of your seat in hypeness, but if you come into this expecting it to be completely serious, you're going to be disappointed. But why are you recommending something like that to someone that's a stick in the mud anyway? I mean, I know me personally, I have friends that don't watch anything unless it just has fighting from head to toe, and they miss out on so many other things. But enough of that. Back to Mob Psycho 100. Again, this has been long awaited, long anticipated, and I can tell you that it did not disappoint on any level, as the episode starts off with a figure that's just immersed in power, taking on a whole bunch of different spirits, and it's a counter going off. And when that counter got to 100, you just seen the screen get engulfed in a big explosion of energy. And then this is where we get into the meat of the story, where we find out in this world there are spirits everywhere. This series is the best way I can describe it. Will probably be Ghostbusters meets Akira meets One Punch Man. I mean, that's the best way that I can roll into as far as what you can expect, as there are spirits going all around the world and they're battled by people with abilities called psychics. And then this is where we enter Reigen Arataka, or I believe it is, yes, Reigen Arataka, that's his name. So it's gonna take me a while to get the names whenever it's the first episode. Anyway, Reigen is a exorcist extraordinaire, or at least that's what he's saying to his client, a young woman who is hiring him to exorcise some ghosts. Basically, he says, I can take care of this spirit and cleanse it for you, guaranteed, or the next time is 20% off. And her boyfriend just sees directly through this guy. He's a hack, he's a goof, he's a fraud, as Reigen isn't as good as he says he is, as they're on their way to the building to take out this spirit that she's trying to get him to go against. He even accurately finds the place wrong. He's like, look, there's a big power over there. That must be it. Let's go. And the boyfriend's like, no, dude, it's right here. I can sense where this ghost is. We're paying you for this? Are you kidding me? He looks at his girl like, are you kidding me? And she's so naive. She's like, let him do his job. Maybe he sees something else. And he uses every opportunity he can to lie his way out of it. He's like, that's right. It is something else here. I was talking to that butt-faced man over there. That's a spirit. And this is a guy with a butt chin. I call back to One Punch Man with that joke as well. So that was excellent. So they decide to go into this building and take care of the spirit that they do find. However, Reigen pulls out some salt and just starts throwing salt at it. It's not doing anything. The spirits look like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? The boyfriend's like, haha, I told you he's a fraud. That is when Reigen decides to call in the true Esper, the true psychic, the big guns, and that is Mob. And Mob's real name is Kageyama Shigo, and he's a middle schooler. And again, he is the real deal, as he comes in and cleanly takes care of the spirit just with a whiff of his hand, takes it out completely. And the relationship between Mob and Reigen is that Reigen is using this kid's naivete to his advantage by having Mob pretty much take care of all his work for him, and then saying, you know, I let you take care of the small fries, as Mob is his student and he's supposed to be training him, because Mob has a certain level with his abilities and he's forbidden to use them as much, because if he reaches 100%, who knows what's going to happen to the world. So Reigen is basically saying, I'm training you to keep these powers in check and use them as I need. But he's really just using them in order to make his profit grow and to make himself look good. He's just basically using the kids. He basically just looks at Mob in situations like this and say, this was a small fry. I could have took this thing out, no problem. But this is your training, so I am using it to train you. And that's pretty much the relationship that we have with these two. And Mob at home as well. Mob he has a family and they're aware of his powers as well, as he's always bending spoons and lifting things against his will as he's trying to control it. And you know, his mom is kind of like, you need to learn how to get this in control. And the pops is like, yeah, you could be really dangerous. But he has an older brother. I don't know if it's his older brother or younger brother. I forgot at the moment, but his brother's more lax on him. His brother might be the type of person that's always going to support him, as he says, you know, leave him alone, let him learn on his own. This is really stressful for him. Don't hold him in such a high regard. So it's going to be interesting to see the relationship between those two as well. Also, Mob has to deal with regular school life as well, because as powerful as he is, he sucks at everything else. He's a bad student, he sucks at sports, and he's too shy to act upon the girl that he has a crush on. And all of this ends up affecting his powers as his percentage goes up and up. And I believe it's going to be stress related, probably. That's going to lead to him going into his mob mode or 100% mode. So he has to learn how to keep his regular life and the powers in check. And thus the ghost busting adventures of Reigen and Mob begin as they take another job to go into a sewer or abandoned tunnel to take out a bigger spirit, or at least Reigen says that it's a bigger spirit. They find out that it was a possessed monster or a spirit of a biker gang that died down there. Mob was able to take it out easily. However, he basically made Reigen look good, as Reigen once again just throwing salt at this demon that has no effect. He tried to punch it, it didn't do anything to him. But whenever the demon tried to attack Reigen, Mob will cover him with like a shield or something to make it look like he's doing something. And this leads into them having to take down a bigger spirit that once again Mob takes out with no problem. I mean, it engulfs him and he just blows up with his powers. By the end of the episode, Mob is at 27%. And he questions Reigen, like, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you help? And once again, Reigen uses that facade that it was a small fire monster. I don't want to use my powers. I'm here to help you. And he cheats the kid. He cheats the kid on paying him by saying, you're lucky I gave you that. He only calls him in when he needs to do something. He's really using Mob, and it's a comedic way, but at the same time, I hope that Mob catches on to it, and maybe he'll get to the point where he probably just humors Reigen for the sake of his business, but he'll stop being naive. We'll just have to see where it goes from there. This was a very enjoyable episode. It was hype. It was funny. That music was pulse pounding. The opening, although it's not, I don't think it's the best opening. It's like Kiss Niver, where it is visually the best opening that we got of the summer season so far, as the colors are beautiful and bland. It even goes with the music as well, and it fits the tone for this series very much. So I think as you keep watching it, you'll have a better opinion of it as it goes on. Also, as far as the visuals work very well for this series, as the art is nothing to write home about. This is how One Punch Man is actually originally supposed to look before they clean it up, and it damn near looks like scribbles, but at the same time, with this world and this comedy world that we in, it fits very well. But everybody looks like Saitama, even the female, so that can be a little bit unsettling, but it's the perfect art for the zaniness that we're gonna see with this series. And the series overall is done by Bones going in again, fresh off of just giving us Boku no Hero Academia. So you know, at the very least, they're going to give us a pretty decent adaptation of this. So manga readers, definitely let me know how good they're doing with this, and if it's only going to get better or not. Definitely let me know in the comments where we're going with this series. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I've already said that, and I like the dynamic between Mob and Reigen, as we kind of get like a buddy cop, fake real deal type of thing. It's just a refreshing thing to see. So overall, I do recommend Mob Psycho 100. I don't even think I'm gonna need to give it a 3-episode pass, as we're gonna go ahead and stick with it and see what's going down. I'll be here with you guys every Monday to review that. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there is no shortage of content that I will have for you guys on this channel. Now, I do have a review for Taboo Tattoo, but that more likely come tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that as well. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.